I've learned from the Coldplay nonsense. If you accidentally forget to put your thumbnail or your show promo up and you're live with your face on there, just act like you're supposed to be there. Don't act like you're having an affair with your chief people officer. Just play it cool, man, and no one will know the difference. By the way, hope to see some of you this Sunday. I got some fun stuff planned. I just had an idea pop in my head about 32 minutes ago, and I got to go prepare for it tomorrow. To include it in this show, Sunday, August 10th, I'm helping to open up the Burbank Comedy Festival this weekend, 5 p.m. show, early show, so you can catch the show, get on with your life. Tell your babysitter, get home early. Kirsten Porter, Holly Batty co-hosting. Ed Greer, the wonderful Ed Greer, the amazing Lisa Gottman. Jason Boggs returning to stand-up. Amy Wittry, Jeff May. I want you all to come on out if you're local. I actually, shortly before I sat down to get set for tonight's show, I got booked on a show tonight, so apologize. It's our big Thursday back, even though we were there Monday, but it's not going to be as a marathon as it normally is. 8984M says Jeff May was on the show a while, but yeah, Jeff May used to call in back before the Blathering really knew what it was, and I want Jeff May to call in again. He's one of my favorites. I also like him. He's very ultra progressive and liberal. He's also a former boxing champion. So he is who we need to punch the Nazis. He's a great ally to have in the corner. So I do have two quick updates, and I have a main topic I guess I want to talk about, but I have to. It's in the thumbnail. I want to talk about it because I do got a stand-up show tonight, so stand-up is on my mind. But first, I'll give you. I don't have video. I actually have video. I should have edited. I do have minor Squirrel Center updates. The picnic table is in the yard, everybody. The picnic table that my dad made for me, all of 9 inches in length and like 5 inches in height. It is out there full of pecans and almonds and other random nuts. And, of course, the peanuts in the shells. And it is absolutely a sight to see. But what is also a sight to see is the squirrels afraid of it. I have tragic footage of squirrels jumping onto the table, screeching on the brakes and going, oh, shit, there's like some creature there, and splitting out of there. They're all afraid of the table except for one. Can report that it took all day. I documented this squirrel all through the day, getting slowly used to it. And then eventually he's the only one of the 4 squirrels. I think it's Worthington. It's hard to tell. I couldn't get there. Worthington is comfortable with the table, and he ate like a king today. Unfortunately, the other squirrels are going to have to come around. The other thing is, I'm a little tired. Why am I tired? Well, I was up late. I had trouble sleeping. So about 1 a.m., I get up to get a melatonin, and I hear a little rustling. And in the backyard was a skunk versus raccoon fight. They were fighting over the water bottle or the water bowl I put out for them, for the skunk, and also the peanuts that I put down for the skunk. These raccoons, and if you saw my Instagram story, there's 2 raccoons that regularly come by now. One has learned, if I climb up to that table, I can take anything left up there. So I've been making sure the table's not left with any treats. But they're squaring off. And in that, I like the raccoons, but in that fight, I'm choosing skunk. So I actually ran outside and chased the raccoon at 1 a.m. while making growling sounds and hand gestures as if I was scaring off a bear. But the raccoon would go to the backyard, climb up one of the trees, get on top of our house, come back down, and do it all over again. So I was up to like 2:30 protecting this skunk, who eventually was like, I'm out of here, man, and left. And I'm exhausted. I want to thank the wildlife hanging out at my show. So that's what's going on. Last week, Mark Maron dropped his stand-up special, Panicked. I highly recommend you watch it. Mark Maron is one of my all-time favorite comics. It's a great special. Different mood to it. Different energy. He's got a great bit about staying in hotels that describes my life and Mark Ellis's life. If I'm traveling anywhere, do not invite me to stay at your house. Oh, we got a guest room. I'm not going to stay. I stay in hotels. And so does Mark Maron, and he had a great bit about that. Watch the special just for that. But what kind of came out of that was he directly called out Theo Von in this wonderful bit about what if Hitler was still alive? I bet he'd be on Theo Von's podcast. Maron has been working on that at the Comedy Store, where Theo Von often is, though I think Theo is based maybe in Austin with all the other comics in that sphere. But a lot of conversation this past week, and I went down the rabbit hole of Maron out promoting the podcast and Maron getting on all these other shows and talking about it. And he's been pretty open with it. And as a comic, I want to comment on all of it, but also I know when I should maybe just stay out of some things. But it's interesting to see as the Trump administration just continues to stampede over the country and the Constitution and just general morality and goodwill for all of us. It's interesting to watch some of these comics start to really be put in the crosshairs. Choosing my words carefully there. Don't take that as a advice or a threat, anyone. Just phrase, turn of phrase. But I think it's overdue. I have been very vocal in the past about people like Tony Hinchcliffe. I knew Theo Von about 20 years ago. I've been around Theo Von a long time. I got no axe to grind with him personally. He was always nice. I think he's actually a really good comic when he wants to be. Good storyteller. But they rose to power through these podcasts and through the world giving them the extra ear. Here I am. I'm a comic on a podcast. And I'm glad for your extra ear. But it's interesting to see these comics get completely caught up in the whirlwind of politics, in the whirlwind of pop culture and social issues and just culture in general. And then when the heat gets turned on and they're trying to back out of it, there's always this kind of, well, it's just comics being comics. Why do you take comics so seriously? And I think that's also true, but I also think you should take comics seriously. We're actually pretty good observers of life. It's our job to kind of comment. It's our job to kind of sometimes try to make sense of it all or give you a perspective on it and also just entertain. And we're supposed to do all of that on stage. So there's sometimes too much importance placed on comics, and there's sometimes the need for comics. But it's amazing to watch a bunch of these comics who are now being called out directly, who are now facing flack, who are now reversing some positions in the most limp dick fashion. I didn't vote for this. It's interesting to watch them all kind of retreat to we're just court gestures, even though the history, the origins behind court gestures, usually were not just to entertain kings and queens and royalty and those attending them, but to also maybe speak for the common folk to the king in a way that the king could take it. It's part of the history there, too. I'm not going to go into that. I don't have an exact history book in front of me on the history of a court gesture. If there is a book, I'd like to read it. But you know what I mean? That's part of the history of comedy. It always has been. And the comics that were always on the wrong side of history always go to we're just jokesters, man. We're just jokes. Why are you taking it so serious? But yet, they've built an entire career outside of comedy stages demanding to be taken seriously, demanding to be respected as the voices of the people, speaking with those in power, ruffling their hair, so to speak, normalizing these fascist leaders that come through into the press stores. It's interesting to watch. I have not much more to say of it. Maybe I'll do a conversation with other comics. So a lot of comics, we don't actually talk about this a lot. But one of the things I saw this week was Mark Maron calls out Theo Von directly in his special, which, again, not a surprise to a lot of comics because he's been doing that bit at the Comedy Store for the last few months, trying to work it to get it on a special. But I saw a lot of people say, is this it? Is this the dividing line? Is it people like Mark Maron and Christopher Titus and Steve Hofstetter on one side? And is it the Austin sphere, the Rogan sphere that will be on the other side? It already is like that. Sometimes the audiences are caught in between. The job of a comic is to go on stage and entertain as many people in the room as they can. But the job of a comic is also to understand the culture in which they're performing it. I'm Team Mark Maron. I'm Team that side, whatever that side is. And no, Bill Burr's not on that side. He's not on the other side. Bill Burr's just Bill Burr, right in the middle, on his own island. That's on the mind tonight. Any thoughts out there about that? Let me know. Put in the comments down below. Christopher Watt says the stream was just interrupted for me by Theo Von. You know, they're listening. The internet is listening. So we got some calls tonight, but I also got producer Steve here. Producer Steve, how you doing, buddy?
Good
Oh,
evening, Ken. Happy Thursday. How are
yeah,
you? Hello, everyone there.
I'm
What's wrong?
good.
What
No,
what, what
I thought
happened?
I had you muted. But you were able to override it.
We persevered, Ken. That's why we're here. Yeah, no, lots of fun stuff to talk about today. I'm excited. I know we've got an not abbreviated, but you got a tight
Um,
deadline on the show tonight, so we'll keep
yeah,
it moving.
just keep it moving. All segments is normal. I'm going to be trying to speed some stuff up, anyways, in the weeks forward. Keep been doing these clips, Steve. I speak at such a slow pace that I want to jump off a bridge. I've got George Lucas is right. Faster, more intense.
Faster and more tense. Well, I mean, I've gotten just from editing and stuff. I've gotten used to the two of us speaking at 1.5 to 2x speed, like doing things like just editing clips and shorts and stuff. And
Right.
we sound horrible at 2x speed. So, yeah, we need to just naturally sound better so that we don't have to speed up so much. So, yeah, we'll work on that. We'll workshop.
Maybe. I mean, often I'm thinking as I go, so that can explain some of the drawn out pauses. But I was watching myself today, angry at my existence, Steve, on a microphone. But happy you're here.
Oh,
Happy
happy
you're.
to be here. Don't be angry at your earnings. Look, a lot of this is we might talk for like 2 minutes or so before the show starts. So all of this is really coming off the dome as
Yeah.
as we're going, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, people underestimate how hard it is to look at a camera and talk into a microphone coherently for an extended period of time. They really do.
2 hours here or 4 hours over on the Blathering backstage. Y'all do good.
We have a good time.
Doing some updates. Want to get some of the sports stuff. Also have an update on Ryan Walters. We talked about last week the superintendent of Oklahoma, the big top dog there who got caught watching maybe a dirty picture while he was in a meeting. The investigation has concluded, Steve, that what was playing was a 1985 Jackie Chan film called The Protector that had auto-played because on Walter's computer screen was the Samsung free streaming service, and that it played that film, and it played the sex scene. It played the nudity, and that's why. So everything else is good. God still loves Ryan Walters. We press on normally in Oklahoma.
Yes, this is like the worst version of "Oh damn, I got by autocorrect," but the video version of it essentially, right? So I meant this is when someone sends like "duck" in the middle of a sentence, and you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. This guy is he's full of shit, right? Like this is not your Twitter getting hacked. Like your Samsung okay, it's one thing if it was gonna autoplay and like the movie starts, wouldn't you hear like the Fox fanfare, the Searchlight Pictures, whatever fanfare, whatever first, right before like the sex scene, you know what I mean? Like if Titanic autoplayed, Ken, is it gonna skip all the way to the hand on the
Yes.
window in the car scene? Like or paint me like a French girl? Like what how
Yeah.
is this, what are we doing?
The hand on the window. But back in 1998, when that movie was all the rage, our pastor, who was a pretty hip pastor, like he used to quote Seinfeld episodes in his sermon, like, and he used to be in a church rock band, like a Christian rock band. I like the guy. I really like the guy. But he actually got mad in front of the entire congregation because he was like, a lot of you suggested that I go see Titanic, and I did. And there was a hot and heavy scene, and I was ashamed that you all suggested that me, your pastor, go see it. And he was really mad at everyone. And I actually think he had a point, but also I think they had a point. Anyways, I digress. Yeah, that's my thing. This is supposedly an independent investigation, sure. Like you said off air, enough technical terms were thrown into the investigation report that people are just going to buy it. That a movie from 1985 from the Samsung free streaming service randomly started playing and got all, I don't know how far into the movie the scene in question is, but then the people in the room with them, I think it's another person named Ryan and a woman named Becca, were able to describe a sex scene that then the investigators would go, oh, that's The Protector. I don't
know. I haven't seen The Protector, Ken. I don't know if it opens up with a hot and heavy sex scene. That would be quite that'd be quite the intro to get people going to the movies too. But I don't know if that's how that works, or that's part of why I don't buy the story at all. But I mean, hey, they had to say something. They couldn't say the thing got hacked. Nobody would buy that either. So you're right. They just went with streaming things, Samsung autoplay. You're old boomers. You don't understand how any of this works anyway, so just don't worry about it. He's good. Hand wave. Move along.
He's good. I'm trying to type in. This is a weird search. I literally typed in how far into the protector is the sex scene. I'm just gonna close the Google. Chat
Isn't that
right
the whole
now.
plot of Jay and Silent Bob or something? Like, don't they have a whole website about that?
Yeah. It also knocked up when.
Knocked up too. Yeah, when
Knocked
they
Up.
have the new. Yeah.
And then about halfway through the movie, they're like, Mr. Skin. Oh, God, what a time when Mr. Skin was the thing. Speaking of dirty things, we have a little sports update we want to get to. We say this a little bit with a smile. We want to be clear. It's just a weird thing, but it's also not a good thing. It's not a safe thing. A third dildo, a third sex toy, if you will, was thrown onto a court at a WNBA game. I believe it was the Fever Sparks game. So 3 different stadiums, Steve. This keeps happening, but you think an update is out there that makes sense.
Yeah, there's a big update on this, Ken. Not only in the number of incidents that this has happened in, we're up to 5, Ken.
5? Wow.
Yeah.
I was out of town the last 2 days.
There's been a lot going on. The reporting is up to 5 incidents. We believe 3 of them are connected. And according to the sources that I've been reading and the reporting that I have done, Ken, the person who was arrested in the first incident is not part of the larger. This is a RICO case at this point, Ken. Like this is a criminal conspiracy to throw dildos on NBA courts. Okay. And you know where it all leads back to? Crypto coins. There is a crypto coin hot on the market, Ken, called Green Dildo Coin. The ticker abbreviation is dildo. If you want to go talk to your H&R Block guy about it. So the cryptocurrency launched on July 28th. The first incident was July 29th. And I guess upon further inspection of said sex toys, there's information about this green dildo coin and all of the hype behind it. Like I said before, a cryptocurrency group behind the meme coin called Green Dildo Coin has claimed responsibility for orchestrating the stunt as a provocative prank. So far, they said there's no sexist intent. They're not trying to. They're just trying to have fun. And they said more lighthearted promotions will be coming soon, Ken. But I thought it was funny that they had to say, like, the group took responsibility for it, like it was a terrorist attack of some kind, right? Like the Taliban saying, hey, we took responsibility for the dildos on the court.
Wow, that's quite the update. That's a lot. That's a lot. Sign me up for dildo coin, right? Like, this is the world we live in. Sometimes I don't want bad things to happen to any of us, but sometimes you hear those stories, and there's worse stories in the world, including, Feb and genocide and all the politicians and people afraid to see it as genocide. There's that going on right now. But this one is the one that makes me go, let's just pull the plug on all of it. We're done. We're done. And
this is a simulation, we failed at some point.
Yeah. Yes. And, but has this happened at NBA games? Major League Baseball games? Are there any other flying dildos hitting sports arena floors?
2 things. Yes. To answer your question, yes. This is specifically a thing with the Bills. The Buffalo Bills fans like to throw dildos into the end zone for various reasons, including, I think specifically if it's a bad call, they throw dildos. It's kind of like throwing a dildo at the ref is the idea, but they throw dildos into the end zone. This is a Bills thing. Yeah.
And you guys don't root for the Miami Dolphins. This is the problem. When did that start? I know I'm just getting back in the NFL the last season.
I don't know. I don't know if this is pre or post them jumping into tables and breaking those. It was probably sometime around that. I mean, let's be honest, Ken, no one's cared about the Bills in 30 years since Josh Allen got drafted. So it was probably around the time when the Bills started becoming relevant again. Or maybe it was during the dark times when they didn't have anything to care about other than, hey, let's throw dildos because we don't have anything else to do because Ryan Fitzpatrick is our quarterback. I just torched the Bills, and I didn't mean to do that, but it's fine. Sorry, Bills fans.
And he was a great quarterback for us for one season, led our team in rushing with 400 yards. No dildos thrown on the field. Well, thank you. I appreciate the update. I just don't want it. I don't want my Kelsey Plum to get hurt. I don't want her to get hit in the head with a green dildo.
This is a safety concern, Ken.
Yes.
Sophie Cunningham was did make contact with one of these thrown objects in a game. I think she tweeted beforehand, someone's going to get hurt about this, and then afterwards
Yes.
she tweeted, "Oh, this didn't age well."
This didn't age well.
So that happened.
I really do appreciate that you covered that part of the story like a regional newsman, being very careful. Sylvie Cunningham was struck by one of the objects in question.
Yeah. You don't want to get sued. I don't want to get sued, Ken. But here my favorite part about this. I don't have a good Brokaw voice like you do. I'll work on it. My favorite part about this, though, is a spokesperson for the crypto group said that they're planning more pranks to promote the coin that will be lighter and more tasteful. Ken, if your crypto coin is called Green Dildo Coin and the ticker is dildo, what is your prank that is lighter and more tasteful?
What? Why not just be in pornos? Why not just YouTube? The YouTube AI bot is gonna be like, I put that clip out of I fucking hate forks yesterday, and I got a we need to wait 24 hours before this video is cleared message from YouTube yesterday.
Oh wow!
And then they cleared it. And they cleared it manually, which means someone in the YouTube office, Steve, watched you and I talk about forks and watched me say I fucking hate forks. But yeah, just go sponsor like an adult film star in their movie with the green dildo coin or something. Why does it have to be? I ain't a prude. I've been, there's a great sex shop on Santa Monica Boulevard, Steve. You coming to town? We'll go to the pleasure chest. All right. You want to swing through it? I'll take you. I got no problem with it.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. That's all.
Well, here's the Ken, to be fair, if they did that, would we be talking about it right now on this wholesome family show?
You know what, but Steve, yes, I'm glad you brought that up. It is a very wholesome show. It's a very wholesome show. I'm glad you brought that because, Steve, that means it's working. And that's even more frustrating. It's even more frustrating.
Well, clearly we need to pivot where our efforts and things are going. Yes. All I know, Ken, is if there are not fleshlights being thrown onto the courts of NBA games this fall, we know we live in a sexist country.
I agree with that. So, Steve, you and I, let's go to crypto.com arena. Let's bring some fleshlights. Let's throw them at LeBron James and Bronny. Okay. A couple more updates. I got a lot of calls here tonight. I'm so happy that a lot of people are here to call into the show tonight. We will get through all the calls. We got where you want to go? Oh, I want to talk South Park. I watched that episode last night. Is this the follow-up episode to the other one?
It is. They skipped last week.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that clarification, because I was like, It's already been 2 weeks, but amazing. Just absolutely amazing. I haven't been a regular South Park viewer since 1998, maybe. I might be back in, Steve. I've been. Like, everything about that episode, just the over-the-top nature. For those that didn't watch it, we won't go into details, but basically it got into making your nut, which is a very realistic problem we're all dealing with right now. You need to watch it to get more of it. And it went into ICE, or ICE, as they kept calling it, and Kristi Noem, with her face falling off, killing any dog she saw or heard. And it was graphic. It was graphic. Yeah. And I laughed every time. And I cannot, like, if someone shows me an Instagram video of, here's a hawk, a falcon killing a deer, that one goes, it breaks my heart. I have nightmares. I can't deal with that stuff. I laughed every time she shot one of those dogs, because it was so like, yes, this person's a problem and she needs to be treated as such. Yes. All of them are problems and they need to be treated as such. And I'm so happy that Trey and Matt, who have been on different sides of things in the past, and they've faced a lot of scorn in the past, and there's a legacy there that should be questioned. You and I talked about it last time out. But, Steve, I, for one, am happy that they're here in the ring swinging as hard as they are.
Yes, I'm so happy that they are. You said it perfectly. They're swinging as hard as they are. This is not network approved pushback. This is not kowtowing with a smirk on. This is them really, like, JD Vance was in on this one. Like you said, Kristi Noem is in on this one. They're not letting up. And they're really going at all of it, not just the administration, but the right wing kind of griftosphere around it. It's just this is why people say, like, during these Republican administrations or during shitty times, we get such great art, because we're all so pissed off and we have so many things to say. And I'm so glad that Matt and Trey have really decided to go gloves off here because, again, like I've said before, I mean, I'm a huge South Park fan. This was the animated show of my childhood from a comedy standpoint, and like from adult humor and everything. So I really like South Park. So I'm happy to see that it's been culturally relevant at least for 2 weeks again because it's been a while. So
yeah, no, and going to what I said up top is it's like this is part of the purpose of comedy because it plays outside the bounds, but it also has a responsibility to it, and sometimes comedy will say some things that you don't like. Even going back to the Marin special, he kind of called out liberals and progressives in a fun way, knowing that Mark is fully holding up a mirror up to himself. I thought it was a valuable bit, but this is great stuff. Big win, South Park. We can ring the bell, swing the bat, home run. All right, you ready for some calls?
Let's do it. Let's get some calls.
Let's some calls. We got some calls in here tonight. We got a lot. Oh, Evan's been waiting patiently. Evan's here. Major Problems. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Ken, I'm good. How you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Good. So, just off the jump, I wanted to ask you. So, if the Schmodown was still a thing, who would have the clear edge in the sex scene category, in your opinion?
In terms of answering all the questions?
Oh yeah. Who's the I hate to say it, but Matt Damon of Star Wars to sex scenes in the Schmodown sphere?
I don't know. It'd have to be. I don't think it'd be necessarily the thirstiest person. I think it'd be someone that just, if they found out that was the category, PLD would be the writer of it, and he maybe he's thirsty, maybe he's the problem. But I think someone like Ben Bateman would be like, it's a category I got to study, and he would be like a real life Mr. Skin on the set, and I mean that respectfully. Like he'd probably win some rounds because he'd take it seriously.
Well said, Ken. I approve of that answer. And I also want to know, Ken, Steve. I'm not big into meme coins, but if you guys want to start one, I'm in on Flesh. If you want to go fleshlights for NBA season, let's do it.
I'm in, man. I'm in. Like, look, I can't. I invested in Dogecoin when it first. Well, the second wave of it. I wish I was in on the first because I saw a friend make $4,000 in one day and cash out, and I was like, I want in that, and I did not do that. So let's do it. Flesh coin begins right now.
Yeah, I want it to be neon orange though. I think you can figure out why I want it to be orange.
Yeah.
And we grab your flesh, grab it by the flesh.
Grab your boot by the flesh. Yep, absolutely. Yeah. We're in. We're millionaires now.
This is too good of an idea that this absolutely already exists, but we'll give it a shot.
We'll talk. My people will talk to your people.
That sounds good, Evan. I appreciate
Perfect,
that.
my friend. Perfect, my friend. All right. Any final thoughts, sir? I got calls and I'm gonna get to them.
No, just quick final thoughts. As we're ramping up the football season, how do you feeling about the Dolphins going into training camp?
Everything I've watched has me worried, except for one show. Just recently retired offensive lineman for the Miami Dolphins, Teron Armstead, just started his own YouTube channel, and he's saying good things. So he knows. He knows more than the experts. That's what I'm going to tell myself until kickoff and halftime of the first game.
I like it.
There you go. Thanks, Evan.
Thanks, Ken.
All right, we got Cam, we got Aiden, and then after that, we're going to go to Game of Thrones, an episode I watched last night and today. And I unexpectedly cried today while watching it. It's going to be fun to go through that. Cam is here. Cam has checking in. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Ken. How you doing?
I'm doing good. The mood is good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very interested in the topic tonight. I haven't seen Mark Maron special. Really plan on watching that soon. I have seen the Adolf on. I don't know why I call him by his first name. Like I know him. That was weird. On Theo Vaughn's podcast, that bit, it killed me. I had to share that one, and I did kind of want to. I don't know if I have anything to say that hasn't already been said. I think this was a major topic around the Tony Hinchcliffe at MSG time. So I don't have any new ground to tread necessarily, but I do kind of just want to say that from noticing people around my age, definitely the shift to these Austin-based comedians, as we can
Yeah.
categorize them, is definitely real, especially within my generation. Something that I've noticed.
It's it is real, and it is reflective of something that maybe I don't fully understand. One of my favorite things that Marin has been saying on a few podcasts is basically saying, hey, these guys, and they're mostly guys, but there's some females in the Austin sphere. They've won. You've won. Transgender people are afraid to leave their houses. They can't get the care that they deserve. They are absolutely afraid. You've won. So why do you still have to do these jokes? That's one of the things he's been doing, not in the special, but on the rounds promoting the special. And that's kind of where I agree, because I will go to a show tonight. There's 8 comics at least on the bill. I know a few of them, but there's always this X factor of you don't know who's going to take the stage and what they're going to say, which is fine, because that's how it should be in comedy. I think they have the right to say it. The club has a right to determine if they want to have that stuff said, but the crowd reacts. And to this day, Cam, I've seen some horrible stuff said on stage, and almost every time it's been met with thunderous applause and laughter.
I was seeing a clip the other day. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, so I don't know what to do with that. I'm not going to do that, but like, that's why I say when you have comics go on the road, they see so many different people in so many different cities, and when they're met with standing ovations with their horrible material, I don't know what else. There's no way I'm going to convince them that that's wrong.
Yeah, a lot of it for me, just like I said, the people around my age, like that I'm friends with, most of them either aren't into stand up at all. Now these are mostly men. I'm referring to other males,
sure,
because I don't know a lot of women in my life that watch Kill Tony or
right.
But like a lot of the guys that I know, even ones that they're not these alt-right people. Right. They mainly are the Kill Tony and Shane Gillis are the only 2 people I really ever hear. I don't even know if half the people my age know who Mark Maron is, and I think that is what scares me mainly, is that a lot of the voices, because there are voice of reasons out there, even if they aren't maybe the more popularized comedians, is that they're not speaking to us, or if they are, it's not getting through those channels, right. And that's what scares me a lot. Yeah.
No, that's a great point. This is, I think, one of the best comics working today is a guy named Steve Hofstetter. I don't know if anyone here has seen him, but look him up. This is a guy that kind of went viral a few years ago, kind of owning a Trump heckler kind of guy. There's a couple clips of him yelling at some MAGA people in his crowd. He is fearless because he tours the country. He goes to these same places, and he has a great career and a great audience, but he goes into the lion's den, and that's something that I sometimes would say, I have to be honest, I'm afraid to do. A lot of other comics are, because it is something a little weird when you get up on stage and you realize that everyone in that room doesn't like you. It's not why we do this, so our tendency might be to shrink away from that. Steve Hofstetter goes right at it, but I just don't know how he's, in terms of the numbers the other folks are doing, because they're also getting shows, they're hosting ESPYs, they're in the seat of power, and until there is a sea change in the audiences, they will remain so. It's probably always been like this. Carlin might be the biggest that everyone knows that spoke truth to power. Richard Pryor at times. Yeah, absolutely. And Bill Burr now. But Bill Burr has said even recently this past week that I am neither right nor left, that he is above that. And his job, he feels the job of all comics is to punch at everyone. I'm going to take that. Bill is at least taking some swings that we need someone of his stature to take, even if not all the other swings are what I would like. I'd love him to have that big spiritual breakthrough. I don't think that's going to happen, and I have to accept that. We need him to keep doing what he's doing and how he's been going the last couple of years. It's the only chance we got. But Burr would be like, don't put that on me. Don't put that on me. I'm just doing my thing. I'm the dumb guy in the sports bar and the smartest guy in the sports bar, he calls himself now. But other than that, I'm dumb. And I get it. I think he's right.
Yeah, I just don't. It does scare me a bit what the future does look like, and just my generation specifically. Not to bring too much to Canadian politics, because I know everyone tunes in for that. But a big reason for our government not going with maybe the most anti-woke, far-right conservative elected officials that we could have had. It wasn't my generation that stopped that from happening. It was actually the boomers that there was things about this guy they didn't like. And it does scare me, just the people around my age, the way that we're going. I remember being a stupid 16-year-old Ken and thinking, oh, well, my generation is so progressive. We are gonna, there's never gonna be another conservative elected in this country.
Right.
And then so all of a sudden, here I am in my early mid-20s, and I'm like, oh, these people are not who I thought they were. It's grim sometimes, but
it is grim. It is grim. I know a lot of folks with kids in their late teens, early 20s, men, straight boys, who look up to Elon and all that kind of stuff. There is. I don't want to get into it now because I didn't see all of it, but I actually thought there were some comments that I saw from Obama that I've had conversations with people about over the last couple of years about some of these groups of men feeling as though they are being pushed aside, so they connect with these kind of cult kind of leaders in comedy and podcasting. And I think there's a lot of nuance to that conversation. But I think I've had those conversations off air with friends, and there's a lot of truth to it. And I would want to explore that a little bit more too. But tonight's not the night because I haven't seen the whole interview.
100%
context. There you go.
It's something you could do a whole hour of. So I definitely would love to hear more of your thoughts on that. But I appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks, Cam. Tonight I'm just going to go on stage and do some dick jokes, so it's all good.
Love it. Thanks, Ken. Bye.
Thanks, Cam. All right, let's roll on in here with Aiden. How you doing, Steve? Just checking in on you. You good? You need a snack? Where you at?
No, I'm good. I'm gonna get a new beer here soon once we get to the next call. But other than that, I'm doing just fine.
Get a beer. We got Aiden. Then we got Jared, and then we got Addie doing some science. Her big return, and then we'll see where we're at. All right, thank you, Aiden. You're on the air. How you doing, buddy?
Doing all right, Pit Boss. Yourself?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I did not get attacked by a raccoon or a skunk. My night is going well.
I saw that there was a raccoon in your backyard. I was
two of them. The other one that's not in that story I shared was sizable, but it was afraid of me. It was afraid of me. Anyways, Aiden, what is on your mind?
Well, let's see. So right now I am drinking a blueberry flavored beer. Ooh. And I have a bit of a hot take, and I don't know which one you're going to be more upset about.
I mean, first of all, I don't know if I have ever had blueberry flavored beer, but I do love blueberry flavored coffee, so I'm willing to give it a go. You hit me with your hot take.
My hot take is honestly that I don't believe that comics have, and that stand-up comedians anyway, and even podcasters, I don't believe that they have the power that a lot of people believe they have. And the reason I say that is because if they did, more of them would have been shot.
I'm listening. In what way?
It's just like, here's the thing. And this is just something I believe, and, I could be wrong, but I believe that if you want to know if you're in a field where you can make a real difference in the world, look at other people who are in that field, other notable people, and look at how many of them have been shot.
You know what? I'm gonna take your word on it. I can't remember a lot of comics. Knock on wood. And a few comics attacked on stage. That's happened. It happened to me once, but shot. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I feel that. To your hot take, I mean, I get it from a certain point of view, because it probably shouldn't be. And I saw it from the other side in the 2000s, where, the rise of The Daily Show, where I was like, it's just a silly show. Why are we giving this Jon Stewart guy so much of our attention? Because he was saying things about the political leaders that I was aligned with at the time. So I didn't like it. But the flip side, I think it's all a big whirlwind to me. You see, because I think the other thing is, I don't know. I'm in the podcast and the comedy bubble, right? So I can only see that forest for the trees. I don't know what's outside of it. There's a lot of people I know who don't listen to these podcasts, who don't listen to these comics, and they have their own influences. So, yeah, I think in the larger picture, maybe not. And that's why sometimes I think there's value, Aiden, in just letting some of it slide, right? That's why I think sometimes I have a little bit of, I don't even know how to describe it, but like I mentioned last week, Sydney Sweeney and the whole jeans ad, and she's a registered Republican. I don't care. Don't worry about it. Don't need to talk about it, and it will go away. The influence of it will go away.
Yeah,
but if you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that when that ad came out last week, I saw people were mad, and I was just like, you know what? Okay, maybe I don't know enough. Maybe people should be mad, but my first gut instinct was like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
The ad was designed to be horny. That was what the ad was about. Like the other part of it, I get it. Like I get there's some truth, but I do believe in ignoring things. Otherwise, you will give it more power than it has. And to your point there, too. And, Major Problem says in chat a good thing of, hey, look, the rise of Kill Tony speaks against it. Yeah, no, believe me. The Comedy Store, in the mid-2000s, no one was going there. I used to go there, and no lines. Now, on a Friday night, sometimes the lines are around the block. There is an influence it is popular, and I do think even if a comic's in front of 5 people, they have to be aware of their influence. But I also think there's, Aiden, I understand, I'm meeting you at your point of outside of it, maybe not so much, and maybe we should treat it as such.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn, or maybe there's just a lot that I don't. There's elements of it that I don't understand. I just been studying history a long time, been studying comedy a long time, and it's just like I look at politicians and religious leaders and musicians, and it's just like a lot, it's just like as far as I know, nobody's ever been killed over a joke.
I don't know off top. I hope not. I hope tonight isn't the first night. I'm not doing a lot of bits tonight.
I hope it never happens. It should never happen.
There's a lot of fights. There's a lot of confrontations, but it's related to things like I've seen comics get confronted by people after the show. I've seen people charge. Again, I had a person. They were just drunk. They weren't mad at me. They just were charging the stage. But we'll monitor it. We'll update. We'll track the numbers, Aiden.
Yeah. I do have one last thing. Is that we're talking sex scenes earlier. I did watch a movie recently that opened with a sex scene called "Before the Devil Knows You're Dead," which is It opens with it's Philip Seymour Hoffman and Marissa Tomei going at it, which is like you wished on a cursed monkey's paw. But
2007. Wow, I didn't hear that name. That one back there. There you go.
It's a very good movie, but it falls into a certain category of Philip Seymour Hoffman movies that I love. But it's just like you can sum them up with just when you think this can't get any worse.
Well, and it starts with quite a bang.
Yeah.
Giggity. King Sport House, this was a good flick. Aiden, thanks for calling in, buddy. I appreciate your takes.
Thank you, sir. Happy to be here.
All right. Happy to be here indeed. All right. We are swinging along. Producer Steve hopefully got his beer. Hopefully it was a blueberry beer. I don't even see Steve.
A blueberry beer? I'm back. A blueberry beer.
That's what Aiden had. You walked away to get your beer, but he was drinking a blueberry beer.
I'm just drinking a regular beer.
Good for you. What kind?
We don't get paid to promote any specific kind of brands here, so we're not going to say it
yet.
Don't work for free, Ken.
Yet.
Yep.
I've been working for free my whole life.
Not the feet though. Don't give those feet away for free, Ken. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Not doing that yet. Working my ass off on these clips and reels. I think I made $1.89 so far. It's been wonderful.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's do this. Let's do some Game of Thrones. Let's bring Jared in here. We'll get to our Game of Thrones rewatch, which, of course, gets clipped out and put over on Casterly Talk. Alden and I have some other clips out there right now that we recorded the other day. Decided we're not going to go live anymore to do those clips. We're just going to record them and put them out. That helps the old algorithm. Oh, there's that algorithm word. All right, as he does every week, Jared calls into the show to help us with our Game of Thrones rewatch. We're going on to season 6, episode 5, excuse me, The Door, which, of course, is an episode all about protection and trust and the game and who can you trust and how do you save people and how do you protect people and who is sacrificed. Has a lot of rich themes like that and a lot of heartbreaking scenes, including the one at the end that it's known for, the death of Hodor. Willis in the show, and we learned the reasons about that. Jared, how you doing? How is this episode hitting you now?
Whew, yeah, it was a doozy this week, as it always is. You know, since the first time I've watched it to this week, watching it still gets me at the end. Hold that door, man. Hold that door.
It gets me too, and I was surprised at that. I don't think I've seen this episode in full in 2, 3, maybe even 4 years. I don't know. But I made a point to watch it last night and got to about the halfway point and was loving, that Jorah scene. This is the big Jorah send-off halfway through season 6.
The boy gets some respect on his name.
He gets some respect. I love the scene with Dany saying, I order you to go find a cure. I do think part of my season 7, I love a lot of season 7. There's a little bit of like, all right, I have with some of the plot points being resolved at a little faster pace in season 7, more than 8. I love 8, 6, 7. Every once in a while when I think about it, I go, one more episode might have helped. 2 more episodes. 3 more episodes.
I was going to say, I'll be the greedy bastard and say 10 and 10. 10 and 10 and 10. And the Jorah plotline is part of that too. It happens fast, but it's fine. But that's all at play here. It's all about protection. Everyone in this episode is confronting someone who hasn't protected them. Sansa and Baelish. Sansa kind of stepping into her own there, learning to play the game, lying to Jon Snow. But that's about protection. That's about who can they rally around. Who can you trust? Can you trust Davos? Can you really trust Jon? Can you really trust Sansa if you're Jon? All these things are going on. But Jared, the main event that got me, I got to tell you, I sat there not too long before I sat down to record this, watching it, knowing what's coming. And just the way it was shot, the way it was put together, and even I'll say this: I got transported back to the first time I saw it, and we didn't know this was going to happen. And you look now and you go, some of it's kind of obvious, including the focus on what they call the name in the show, Willis. I know it's different in the books. You can kind of easily go, the Game of Thrones it's doing its thing, where a character gets a monologue or there's a focus on them before they go out. And you got Sam Coleman. Excellent as young Hodor. Oh,
but
this show, sorry to cut you off. I was just going to say this show had the best casting overall for just child actors. They nailed it constantly.
Yeah, they did. And I remember the first time even in a show that, and yes, the story in the books, but just talking about the television world, season 1, the show's like, people die all the way through. And I'm not even talking about Ned Stark. Characters you already kind of got to love and know start dropping a little bit even before then, or bad things start happening. And then Ned happens, and then season 2, more deaths happen. I remember even Yoren. I was heartbroken that Yoren goes. But to come back here, I just got so wrapped up that I never thought that Hodor would be one of the ones that went. So I was shooken. I was shook to my core then, shaken to my core, and I was kind of broken again today, Jared, watching it.
Well, the worst part about it is the fact that it's not Hodor making the sacrifice.
Yes.
It's Bran controlling the situation, and just Hodor is just there, man. He's just there for the ride. And
yeah. And it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to watch Bran kind of have the realization this entire time, and it's us. I think Bran's the audience's eyes at that moment too.
Mm-hmm. And it adds another theme to this episode of it's all meant to happen already. It's just Hodor has to be Hodor to get them through this point. It's just. In the world of Westeros, it's been, bro.
Yeah. Summer going. There's a lot of death in this episode. There's a lot to take. Leaf going, right? That's her name. The Children of the Forest girl. It's been a while. Leaf. I love how it plays out. Again, bad things are going to happen, but I don't know why. When it happened the first time, I just was convinced everyone was going to be okay, Jared. Just was convinced. No, it's all good down there. They got out of there.
My sweet summer child.
Just 6 seasons in, I was still like, this is going to go well. They're just going to run, right? They're going to grab the Blood Raven and they're going to go. It's going to be good. What? Looking back here, what do you? I know Dan and Dave talk about there's a lot of Sansa coming into her own in this season. It is a season of rebirth. And in this episode, she makes some clear-cut choices. And also, as though she is rebuffing, or not rebuffing, but confronting Baelish. Rebuff is too polite of a word. She's confronting Baelish. She also still knows there's value in working with him and knows that Jon and others might not trust that. So she makes a decision to lie to them and specifically lie to Jon. What do you make of that years on, and what did you make of it then?
I do agree. It's definitely watching Sansa grow and understand the game more. She's not being malicious about withholding that information, but she has learned the power of information, what that can do. I mean, I think you said it best, where it's not a question of the information. It's do we trust Littlefinger to bring them Knights of the Vale? Like, is that something Jon would even want to happen? But, you know, Sansa knowing, no, this is going to be a thing. And I gotta play this right. Yeah,
and she's unfortunately learned through some really horrendous things that we've discussed here on the show that are part of the story, that she's learned perhaps even more than Jon. Jon's learned a different part of the game to me. He's learned a lot, but she's learned a different spot. She's learned what Ned failed to learn. Jon is way more Ned, way more that Stark than Sansa, and I enjoy that. But a lot of great stuff in this episode. One of the smaller things is the continuation of the Tormund and Brietta Tarth one-sided love affair. Played beautifully. The
best look. That bearded man. I just
just all the looks and everything.
Oh, it is amazing. This episode also gave me, as much as we love to hate the waif, this gave me my favorite waif moment, and it's a small part during the fight with Arya, when she, has dropped the stick already and she's going back and forth. When she disarms Arya's stick towards the end, she literally gets into a perfect boxing stance, old school, with the Duke straight up, and just gives her the 1, 2, 3. It's just like, that's just that hurt. Like she hit her with the stick, kicked her in the chest. Those she'll get over. It's just the straight Mike Tyson.
Yeah. I'm with you too. At the time, there was a lot of the waif wasn't as popular of a character that came onto the story late in the show's run, and that had a lot to do with the storyline. A lot of people wanted Arya out of there. I think on rewatch, it's fun for me to kind of stay in it a little bit more. I really enjoy her journey there. But the waif was kind of one of these like, who is this? But I think now that Andor is behind us and Faye Marsay as a performer in that show, I think I even enjoy watching her performance more now. Now getting to celebrate her as a performer, I think it's fun to watch the waif work her magic, if you will, in season 6.
Oh yeah, no, she was. I never understood. Like, I understood a little for just like not getting the character, but I always enjoyed watching her originally too, because she's just that fun character to hate. For all my Trekkies out there, she's the Kai Wynn of the show. You just hate her through and through. The actress does it so well that you want nothing but awful things for that character.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, there you go. Heartbreaking episode. And that could just be Jorah for me. I love that scene. I love everything about it. And I sometimes still relive that moment where he's like, going to go find a cure. And I thought he was going to go die. And he does from a certain point of view. But I enjoy that scene. Jared, thanks so much for the rewatch. We're on to season 6, episode 6, which I actually have no memory of. I can't wait to revisit it.
Right? I was actually thinking that myself, because I haven't been watching any of the things, just been going strictly by episode, and I'm like, shit, what does happen next week? But I think we have our young Lena Mormont. Lena
Mormont, yes.
But yeah, that'll be then. Before I take off, I got a quick ask and hang up question for you and Steve to chew over in between calls. How do you feel, because it's just one of those random thoughts for me, do you prefer home jerseys to be lighter or darker, and vice versa with the away thing? Because it's been a conversation in hockey that they might switch it back to the old ways. And it's just, where's your preferences on that? So you guys have a good night. Everybody stay safe. Right. We'll get to some science.
Thank you, Jared. Science next. Steve, home away jerseys. It's not even that I prefer. It's that home jerseys have to be lighter. That's the rules.
I kind of disagree here, Ken. I think
why?
For two reasons. I hate. Excuse me. Sorry, I didn't mean to clear my throat. I'm like, I hate the Dallas Cowboys, and they wear white at home. Famously in the NFL, that doesn't really happen. Very many other. I think the Cowboys are the only team that wears white at home. Every other team wears their colored jersey at home and wears their white jersey away. And so, as I am predominantly an NFL fan, that's kind of just how I think. I know a lot of teams in other sports wear white, like LSU, the football team wears white at home. The Yankees wear white at home. I think Brady will correct us. I don't know if the Lakers wear white at home. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, you bring them. You're right, because the Miami Dolphins, technically their home jerseys are like the aqua on top, which I love. Yeah. I kind of prefer those, but I prefer those on the road, and I love at home where they got the white jersey, especially like the late '90s white jerseys are some of my favorites. But it is a bigger baseball thing, yeah. And baseball, to me, it's sacrilegious if that was to be reversed. Like that is just you can't mess with that. Like the Yankees, they got to wear the pinstripes at home. What I don't like, and
I guess everybody wears white at home in baseball mostly.
Yeah, it really does. But I had to get over it. But even going back to the late '90s, there was this trend, and the Yankees were like the only team that didn't do it. There was a trend that teams started to wear what I call the batting practice jerseys, road or home. And I at the time was like, this is very disrespectful to the game. This is very disrespectful to the game. The Dodgers at home had like the blue tops, the white pants. I was like, what are we doing here? We are bringing fast food to a fancy dinner. This is not right. All right, let us get into some science here. Back on the show after a sojourn around the world is Professor Addie, resident professor of smart things. Addie, welcome back to the show.
Hi, Ken. Thanks for having me. I go away for 4 weeks. I'm 2,200 minutes behind on my podcast, and we're feeding skunks now.
Feeding skunks. I got 2 to 4 skunks regularly, and then now two raccoons, which it's going to be a problem. And skunks are scrappers, but I've chosen them in the war because I think they're cuter.
Okay.
They're just cuter. They're just tinier. They got these cute little faces. And
they're all rodents. Okay.
I've just connected them. I've just connected with them. The raccoons stare at me. They're not afraid of me until I step out. And then once I step out in the backyard, they run away until the one time they don't. And then I'll probably wish I stayed inside. There you go.
Okay.
All right. Welcome back. How was the trip? Did you return the ring to Mordor?
I did return the ring to Mordor. The world has been saved. You're welcome.
Wonderful. Steve, we're going to be okay.
I'm calling bullshit on that one because, just gesturing at generally everything around.
It takes a little while for it to melt in the volcano, Steve.
Yeah,
but then no, it doesn't. It goes quick and then it explodes and all the orcs start running away. That shit happens fast. Gandalf is barely able to shed like 2 tears before it all goes down. Like, no.
There was no clock in any of those
hurry
shots.
The hell up,
don't know
Addie.
how quickly that happened.
Did you throw it in the right mountain, Addie? Maybe that was the problem. I don't know.
I thought I did. Maybe my map was upside down.
Could have been. Well, we're glad you're back. People are excited you're back. We got a little science here tonight. So I want to get right to it so I have time for everything. We got 60 seconds of science tonight, so I can cede the floor to you, Doctor.
All right. Got to catch up on the news. We got like a month's worth of stories to get through. So here we go. Congress seems to have done a thing. After Democrats staged a science fair of canceled grants in early July, Senate panels and House committees rejected the administration's proposed cuts to agricultural research, the Department of Energy, NASA, the National Science Foundation, and the National Institutes of Health. Bolstered by this, the NSF has already started planning which grant proposals will be funded in the coming months. Your friendly neighborhood scientist was not one of the lucky chosen. The Environmental Protection Agency has dismantled its research office. The massive layoffs could lead to setbacks that reverberate for years to come. In odd animal news, elephants gesture for what they want, just like humans do. Octopuses fall for the rubber arm trick, which is the first time this has been observed outside of mammals. Anteater-like animals had independently evolved from a dozen different times, and cockatoos headbang and do other dance moves as a way to boost their mental health and entertain themselves in their cages. A new study shows that a lack of the metal lithium may play a role in Alzheimer's disease. The study has also found that giving lithium to mice with Alzheimer's-like symptoms improved their memory. Climate change is changing the breeding and migratory patterns of many animals, including beavers. The land-altering animals are poised to invade the Arctic and could radically change the landscape there. And finally, ketchup is responsible for French fries. 9 million years ago, tomatoes interbreeding with potatoes gave potatoes the genes to make tubers. In other words, tomatoes are the mother of potatoes. And that is 60 seconds of science. Ken, where would you like to go?
Well, going forward, you're going to pick. Going forward, you're going to give us the one thing we need to know every week, because I get overwhelmed by all this. And I don't want to just go straight at the French fries, Addie. I want to go what is most important, because we here in California just experienced the coldest summer of our lifetime. And I can attest it was foggy yesterday in my parents' hometown. And they were like, wow, this is great. Yeah, not so much. But so, yeah, where do we need to go, Addie? And we'll get to the French fries. But what's the most important thing?
Honestly, Ken, in my world right now is the fact that the House and the Senate are actually doing something and rejecting the proposed cuts to science funding in this country.
Yeah. How much faith do you have in that?
I try to keep my excitement to a minimum these days. But just the fact that anyone because these are not partisan committees, these are bipartisan committees, so it's not like the Democrats are standing up against this and the Republicans are like, haha, we win.
Fighting them.
Yeah.
What do you think is causing that? That is a very broad question for even broader topic, but what is causing some of the bipartisanship on this issue?
I have absolutely no idea, but I'm happy to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. As LQ says in chat, a tiny step in the right direction. And sometimes I'm only questioning because I'm on a show. I don't know. I'm not even going to just take it. Let's just take it as a small win.
I'm hoping it has something to do with the number of people at town halls that have been yelling at them. But
yeah,
I really don't know. I hope it's not for show, and I hope it actually happens. The agencies seem to be thinking it's actually going to happen, though, because like I got my rejection email today, and they literally said that they've been waiting, because I submitted my grant proposal 9 months ago, which is longer than normal. They literally said that they've been waiting, and like 3 days ago, they finally understood what their funding levels were going to be, so they felt comfortable starting to make awards.
They felt comfortable rejecting you. That's what I heard. They felt comfortable rejecting you, Steve. That we this insurrection will not stand.
I told Addie already, I'm ready to go. I'm ready. I'm on site. Just tell me where to be. We're not going to let these guys take our nerds down and give their money away. I do think a lot of the capitulating, if you will, from getting some bipartisan, because that's really what it is. It's just the Republicans saving face where they can.
Right. So
many of these policies and so many of the things that the work that Addie is doing, and I have no idea what Addie does, but just the work that the community is doing. When these things are polled, Ken, hugely popular when they're not attached to either party's like platform in any way, and they're just polled on as individual issues. These things are super, super popular. So that's the huge reason why we see some bipartisan movement of the needle on this, because there are people who are at least able to identify that my constituents want this, therefore I'm going to support it, because I can also kind of disassociate this from my republicanism. Trump's not paying attention to that kind of shit anyway, right? So they can that's where they can get away with it. But it's the big stuff where the big giant cuts happen, that where things unfortunately don't trickle down because all the funding dries up, is where people get screwed.
Well said. Well said. Well said. What else is up there, Addie? What else is going on?
Cockatoos can headbang.
Wow. Finally. So what are we to do with the tomato French fry story? Because it seems magical. It just seems too good to be true.
I know. I read that one and I was like, I don't even know. I don't even, like, 9 million years ago, a tomato and a potato interbred, and the tomato gave the potato the genes to make tubers. And that's why we have French fries.
Hold on. I have questions, Ken.
Yeah, Steve, I'm glad you do. I have some too. Steve?
Yes?
Oh, sorry. I muted. When you say a potato and a tomato mated, like, I'm not necessarily asking for, like, the birds and the bees, but I'm asking kind of for the tomato seeds and the potato plants. Like, how does a tomato seed wrap around a tomato plant and grow? Like, how does that happen? Yeah, this isn't like a Chihuahua and a German Shepherd making some weird looking dog. This is a little different, right?
Vamping. The tomato.
It's okay to say you don't know. I'm not asking.
I have no idea. I'm not.
That's
not
fine.
a botanist.
Like, okay, fair. Okay,
but it is what I suspected. It is a transfer of pollen from one plant to another. So a tomato and a potato were planted close enough to each other that a bee or some other insect took pollen from one to the other, and they interbred.
So there was no Sade playing. There was no wine and low lit lights. There was no Padme and Anakin in a bungalow. This just happened because someone accidentally planted it too close. And now here we are.
When you say someone, that's going to be a bird or some sort of other force of nature, because it was 9 million years ago.
The tomato was the one wearing the choker dress, right, Ken?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Sade is timeless. It can work. I'm gonna have some French fries tonight, and I'm gonna have an entirely different appreciation for my French fries tonight. It's gonna mean something special.
And put them in ketchup.
Yes.
And there's the cockatoo headbanging. Thank you, Steve.
Oh yes.
It does have to improve its mental health and entertain itself in its cage.
So you think you can stone me and spit in my eye? That's great. There you go. There you go. Addie, we're glad you're back. Everyone's happy you're back. I'm happy you're back. Steve's happy you're back. The cockatiel's happy you're back. Thanks for the science.
Anytime, Ken. Anytime.
Now that's on tomorrow at 11 a.m. as Alden and I go into the music that made us. Professor Addie, we laid a lot at her feet, Steve, to say that you had to return the ring to save the world on your vacation. It's not fair.
That's a lot to ask someone, especially in like what was like 2.5 weeks. I mean, it took
4.
Oh wow. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, it took Frodo like a year. I mean, in the movie at least, after he left,
Addie probably had a car.
Probably.
If Frodo had a car, Lord of the Rings would have been half a movie.
Yeah, don't do the Eagles thing, Ken. We don't. That's all. That conversation's played out. Yeah,
I don't do the. You think I don't, Steve? Do you think I don't yell at people at bars when they're like, "How come the Eagles didn't?" I mean, fuck off. That's what I tell them.
I hope you do, Ken. I hope
fuck
you do.
off is what I tell them.
We need more people.
Because you know why? Because I used to be on podcasts in 2011 going, "How come the Eagles didn't take them there?" I was an idiot. All right, we're running good. We're looking good on time. I appreciate Jared and Addie letting me kind of power through some things. I have to be in a green room in about 35 minutes because I'm hosting the show tonight because I have to do that and I have to meet all the comics and do all the things. But we got some calls lined up, including, I believe, a first-time caller here. Matt, check it in. Jumped into the channel membership tonight to call in. Matt, how you doing? I appreciate you being here.
Hey, Ken. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, man, and I really mean it. I'm glad you're here, breaking through the call barrier.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad to finally come on board. I had some trouble locating the link for the sign-in and talk to you, but I'm glad we finally got to chat, and I'm really glad you're shining a spotlight on this stand-up comic situation and
it's interesting
the right with all of these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I could talk a lot about it, but I think a lot of it goes back to the guy at the top, the kind of kingmaker in that community, which is Joe Rogan.
Mm-hmm.
And here's a guy who, like, 10 years ago, ostensibly was very liberal. And now, I mean, I don't even know. My take is nowadays, when he has a left-wing guest on his show, he just kind of panders to them. But I think deeply he's been like radicalized somehow. And I do have an idea of how it happened. So
I want to hear it. And in terms of I always am honest about the Rogan thing of like, I never listened to the show regularly, but I was a regular viewer of the clips and if the Dan Aykroyd interview, Annie Jacobson, like I didn't live in an anti-Rogan world before everything happened over the last few years. So it's fascinating to watch and track a lot of the changes. But what are some of your theories on that?
So I'm thinking once he got really successful with the podcast and started making a lot of money, well, before that, he was part of UFC. And I think he kind of idolized Dana White because that's a pattern of his. He kind of idolizes these alpha male figures. And I think once he started getting that money, Dana White kind of let him in the circle. And Dana White is a big time Republican. So I think he went ahead and planted the seed and started poisoning him with a lot of that stuff. Because the way I view it, like a lot of the right-wing policies and viewpoints, they're not something that arise naturally from reasoned argument and reasoned way of thinking about the world. Like you have to get it from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So
I like that take. It's sometimes those, you could say it's against sometimes the natural order of just empathy and helping and being, it's power corrupting empathy, all of us or something.
Right. So I think he got it from Dana White, and now it's like, it's kind of a toxic thing where it seems like all those comedians have to basically toe the line and bend the knee to whatever, the sort of alt-right manosphere community is perpetuating at the time. It's a huge influence in culture. I mean, there was a lot of talk in the last election that these podcasts were a big part of Trump winning. I don't know how you combat that, really.
Yeah, to me, it's a big the permission structure thing I talk about. If you feel as though these folks represent you, which is kind of what I was talking a little bit about the Obama comments that I saw in passing. Again, I bring them up, but I don't want to go into them because I just haven't taken a full swing through them. But if you feel yourself connected and represented by these guys, as we all do, we all find our circles, we all find our people. They're not going to give you the permission structure to challenge some of the big toxic beliefs and some of the problematic beliefs. You're going to fall in line. And then if you're at the top of that, if you're behind the microphone and you start making money from that, beyond just even the grift, that's an easy way to say it, but it's just like, yeah, I get it. I've done things that aren't successful. I've done things that I love that no one else loved. And so after a while, you kind of have to stop and find the lane that other people want you to be in a way. I'm still making choices as an artist. I don't do trailer reaction videos because I don't want to do that. That's what other people can do. And God bless them. It's not for me. But you know what I mean, Matt, where it's like, I understand it from a point of like, hey, this is working, and you're only going to fall deeper into it then. And I sometimes wonder how much is a guy like Rogan playing a character. These are beliefs he has, but how much is he playing a character that, well, this started working, and I'm going to be that version of this guy. If that makes sense.
Wow, if that's the case, then that's so irresponsible.
Yeah.
Be that character and have that kind of influence. That kind of malicious influence, at least. Yeah.
It's just, I look at the famous clip of Bill Burr, and they're chomping cigars, and this is in the old studio, which I think was still here in Cali, and him kind of saying, talking about the masks and the COVID, and Bill Burr being like, we're not going to do this with you behind an American flag with chomping a cigar. We're not going to do this. And Rogan had that smile of, yeah, I like do it. Like, let's do this. At that point, I was like, it's part of his game. At least I thought. But yeah, I don't know. But I'm going to keep being me, Matt, which is respectful, morality-induced dick jokes.
Well, Well, good for you, man. It's great to have an outlet like this, to a more community-based outlet where you actually listen to people and interact with them, and just having someone on the left in this space is really important. I feel like it's coalesced so much, especially over the COVID years. The move to the right has been really, really, really disheartening. You know, my parents are in it.
Mm-hmm.
My brother's kind of a Nazi just by temperament, so he's really far into it.
Fell in line.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. I'm sad to hear that for you, Matt. I understand it, and that's we all got to navigate the waters, and the lines are different for all of us. And I can get along with people of different viewpoints to a point, but even I was in my hometown the last couple of days, and there was a couple folks just in what they were wearing and what was on their cars that I was like, I'd like to fight them now, but that's not how we can function. We can't do that every day. That's not. At least not yet.
Yeah.
But we're there. But Matt, for a first call, this is a big call. I really appreciate you swinging in with this topic.
All right. Thanks, Ken. Hope you kill it tonight at the show.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate you. Matt, look at that. Look at that, Steve. First time call from Matt. That was a home run call. And Jennifer Miro's here. Respect. Oh, by the way, Miro, I was going to text you today at least 10 times. I was like, text Miro, and then I forgot. Respectful morality-induced dick jokes need to be your next clip. There you go. I have no water in this cup anymore, Steve, so my tongue is now officially dry. Giggity. I'll text you, Jen. There you go.
Well, Ken, we just need to make. I mean, obviously, Ken, we just need to make you the Joe Rogan of the left. I mean, Hassan Piker doesn't want to be it. Everyone that they've anointed the Joe Rogan of the left keeps saying, no, that's not me. So just own it, man. Just say, yeah, it's you. But just take it.
Here's Steve. You've worked closely.
Take the AG1 endorsements. Like, why not?
I'll take some. You guys? I'll take some AG1 endorsements right fucking now. I'll take some boner pill endorsements. I don't care. I need rent money fast. Like, let's do this. The thing I'll say too, this is why I couldn't do it. I don't have the following at this point. It's harder to break through. You know, that's the other thing too. It's easier. It is an easier path to peddle the hate and everything. And I'm not even talking about YouTube and the algorithm. Just talking about in life, on a comedy stage, in life. Complaining's fun. You and I arguing over In-N-Out is fun. Versus us, you both going. I do appreciate your choice, Steve. I'm glad you enjoy. Like, that doesn't work as much. It's not comedy. It's not fiction as comedy. But the reason I couldn't be blank of the left is I get angry too fast. I am not, like Cartman, a master debater. I was in debate school. I did do debate. But as you've worked with me enough, I'm most likely just going to yell, "Fuck you." And that's not productive. It's not productive. It's why I've been invited to go on other Star Wars shows or other streams to talk Star Wars. Well, let's just debate it. Like, you like it, I don't like it. Let's debate it. I'm like, there's nothing, because I'm not gonna. First of all, I'm right. Second, I can't convince you of that. And three, it's just going to devolve into shouting, and I'm going to have you, and you're going to be okay because other people like conflict. I will drive home sweating blood, gripping my steering wheel going, I'm going to murder someone. I can't do it, Steve. You might be able to. You're better at that. I think you could do it.
I mean, me, Mr. Mackey, Clyde, we all just need to get our nut, Ken. So I'm willing to get my hands dirty if it means getting my nut. So
we all got to get our nut.
I got kids to feed, Ken.
You do? Yeah. Well, let's get some AG1. Here's Tully, I would give Tully free AG1 supplements if we got them. Tully says you're a million times more interesting and entertaining than Sam Cedar. I appreciate that because I do. I watch Eva and Sam a lot. I enjoy them a lot. But that was it's one of the reasons, Steve, too. Like, anytime is obviously a place for Alden and I get into the weeds politically. But even Alden, like, tomorrow's a music episode, which music is political, blah blah blah. But like, we needed that. You and I here, we get deep. Matt had a great conversation. We talked science with Addie. Very happy to have Addie back to talk about some of that because I certainly don't understand it. But I also do want to talk about how In-N-Out's hamburgers suck ass and not in the good way. And like, I when I see something like the Minority Report with the Majority Report, Minority Report's a movie, right? Majority Report with Sam Cedar,
yeah, right? I think. Yeah.
Sam Cedar and Emma. Like, I don't know if I could live in that every day. Mm-hmm. I think I'd drown emotionally.
Yeah, no, and that's why, Ken, that's I think why a lot of people that are watching here appreciate what you're doing here, providing that balance of silly and fun, but also when big important things happen. You go back to when election season happened. Like, think about a few of those shows kind of post-election, how much of an important place this was for people to kind of express themselves and vent a little bit and all that. And I know I valued that deeply. But then, and then the next week we talked about your shitty football picks and how something else happened, right?
Hey.
So that's just, it's okay.
Hey. All right.
No, it's fair. No, you were over 500 on the season. I take that back.
By the way, this year I was like, I think I'm going to actually gamble. And then now there's 2 baseball players possibly up for gambling on the game. And there's more of a problem. ESPN and the NFL being cahoots. And And I'm like, oh no, maybe it's the wrong year to stop sniffing glue and to start.
On the next one of the next shows where you got a little more time, I do want to talk about that NFL and ESPN thing. Kind of, we'll do some football preview stuff going on. I'm gonna do some fantasy stuff in the Discord. We're gonna get that going. I'm gonna set up a forum or something for folks who are interested.
I love it.
So we figure out how big the league is going to be.
I want Laserbolt's team to be called either Forest Meats or Detroit Style Pizza. I don't know. Quadface has a very serious question. Is there a good way to suck ass?
Giggity.
There is. Stick with me, kid. Stick with me. I have a joke explaining what I may or may not be good at in my stand-up act. Steve, we're getting classy tonight.
Hell of a way to stick the landing, Ken.
The truth is, Steve, I am way more thirsty than anyone here in chat. I've always said I don't think people understand how thirsty I am, except for Alden Diaz, who is more thirsty than me. That's the problem.
That's not surprising.
That's why
horn dogs on Friday afternoons.
Yeah, we are.
No, that's why Ken. We need to get this feet thing going. You're just throwing money away.
I mean, look, man. What do you want from me?
Jen, if you're still in chat, you need to look at this man's feet. You need to give us an honest assessment. Look, it doesn't have. They don't have to be 10s. They don't have to be 9s. They don't have to be 8s. Ken, 3s and 4s and 5s need loving too.
I will need someone to manage the account. I can't. If I by the way, I have a trail cam. I'm on the hunt for a trail cam. If anyone out there has tips on a good, cheap, affordable trail cam, because I'm seeing some for like $200. I need the $40 trail cam. I'm gonna have squirrels, skunks, raccoons. I think I'm just gonna start a YouTube channel called Ken's Zoo, and we're gonna go from there. But if I start selling feet, Steve, you might need to manage it.
Well, I mean, can I get like 15%?
Yeah, 20. I'll give you 20.
Shit,
give you
deal.
20.
All right,
deal.
Cool. Let's do it.
Jared
I got
says,
kids to feed, man.
So do I. Do you know how much my mom treated me to a $40 bag of squirrel feed? $40. I was like, all right, Mom.
And you got a free picnic table. I mean,
I do. Jared has to have a GoPro. I have like 4 GoPros, but apparently, according to Christian Ruvacaba, they're old. JMB's wrong here. He's absolutely wrong. I did not chick it out showing my feet to Darina at the party that one night. We all forgot. I don't know if you all noticed this. It's called the Blathering because I don't remember anything, and we just blather. All right. Michael McCarsel's right. Alden is the most thirsty. The boy is part. Let's do 2 more calls, and then I got to go to comedy here. Jared, stop. We call that ADHD. I have something worse. I don't know what it is. It's worse. All right. Let's bring on Brennan Mystical Bar. He'll class up the place. Brennan, how are you doing?
I am here to make you all repent.
Lead us through the repent,
no,
Brennan.
Sister Margaret, no.
We need it. Dip me in the waters of redemption because we went to places.
You are forgiven.
Thank you, Brennan. What's on your mind, buddy?
I don't find feet attractive, by the way. Just saying.
Don't kink shame. It's not for everybody.
And Alden is the most thirsty. I'm probably the least thirsty. So.
That's fair. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Or are you? Ew, the mystery continues.
So I interesting because I used to be a fan a guy named Nostalgia Critic. Many of you might remember him.
Yeah, I've been around Doug, right? Doug, I think, yeah.
I don't want to say I'm not a fan of him now, because I am still. And I mean no disrespect to him, but I used to find his content in the old days a lot more fun than it is lately.
What's been the change? I never really watched.
That's really the question: is have we as fans become more sensitive, or have content creators like Nostalgia Critic gotten meaner?
That's a great question, Brennan. That maybe we might just discuss that one day on another show, or bring on an Alden for that, because I think there might be it's a chicken or an egg question, but it's maybe a little column A, a little column B. I think there has been a sort of awakening, if you will, of like, hey, this is all kind of bummer stuff. It connects to bigger things, but even the content creators, reviewers, whatever you want to say, that don't fully connect into the alt-right and all that kind of stuff, because not a lot of them don't know that they're doing it. Quite frankly, they don't know. Some of them, I do believe, don't know that they're plugged into a big picture. Take that aside, Brennan, I do think there's some truth of the creators or the shows kind of might have been the same. The approach is somewhat the same. They're leaning into it because it makes them money. And I'm not, again, not saying that in a grifter way, but just like, if I do, here's the 10 things I hate about this film, and it does 1 million views, and that's what my audience wants, you're going to keep delivering that. I totally get that. But I think there has been, even though it might be in the minority, I think there has been a swing to the joy, swing to the positive. But it's always going to be in smaller numbers. It's always going to not do as well. I could share sour grapes on Force Center after 11 years. We still struggle to find our place out there because we're saying nice things about things that move us emotionally, and we still get comments of shills, dummies. How could you even say that you like that movie? And that's what we're up against. But I think, Brennan, sorry for the rant, Brennan. It's a really good question. I don't have the 100% answer right now. I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, I think I agree. Yeah, I mean, I certainly think that there was a time when certain content creators would make jokes about things that most people agreed were terrible.
Yeah. The jokes.
And now it's come more to, we're going to attack things that people like.
Yes, it's been aggressive. Yes. I think that's an excellent point, too.
And I get, jokes and fun, but I think sometimes it's changed from laughing with it to laughing at it.
Yes. Yes, Brendan, you're saying some wonderful things tonight. I really love it. And I know we're supposed to return to your podcast. Maybe in the fall we figure out something again and we talk about this kind of stuff nice. because that's even I admit to being a little grumpy when it comes to Star Wars jokes, more than I even want to. And I'm not talking about takes. I'm talking about jokes. I don't like, hey, have you seen that table read? They do this table read and they're all kind of having fun with Star Wars and it's great and it's full of talented people. I won't watch it because I'm like, I don't need Star Wars to be chipped at right now because it's the tone behind it's different. Not from them, but from society. And I do think that's part of it too. Exactly what you're saying. A joke about Star Wars that I would make with my friends in the 90s was done with love. Now it's done as if to prove a point as to why you're wrong for liking it.
We're in the post-Patton Oswalt, his little thing about if I had a time machine, I'd go back in time and kill George Lucas for them and for making the prequels.
Yes, and Patton's wonderful in so many regards, but he just did this recently. He was hosting a panel, and it was a Star Wars related panel. Andor. Yes, Andor. Thank you, Brennan. And his humor was off. He is one of those people that's like, I mean, we all know Jar Jar sucked, right? And that day has passed for so many people and younger generations specifically. And it felt out of place. He felt out of touch. And that's kind of what I'm talking about.
Go figure a guy like that likes Andor. So, go figure.
Yeah, but he's great. He's great and everything. I love him as a comic. Love him as a political spokesperson. But it was an example of he's got no malice in his heart. He's just like, yeah, that's right. We all agreed they suck. And that kind of is part of the problem. Well, Brennan, I got to get Cal on here because I got to go. But let's put a pin in this, and we'll have a more in-depth conversation about it.
Oh boy, Cal's gonna take the show. Who knows where?
Thank you, Brennan.
And it's always good to have Addie back on.
That's always good to have Addie here. We're happy to have our resident professor of smart things because when she's not here, I get dumb. All right, thank you, Brennan.
Listen to the science.
There we go. All right. Brennan checking in and checking out. That was a home run of a call. Sorry, Steve, I got passionate there. Did I get too passionate?
No, you didn't get too passionate at all, Ken. I thought you made some really good points. I totally tuned out after you said I'd have to bring Alden in here for this because that just made me think, well, Steve's, I have a total moron sitting behind me here, so let's not talk about this right now. Wait until I bring Alden in, and then we can have an informed conversation about this. That's what I heard, Ken.
Are we a little hurt? Are we a little? Do I need to get you and Alden in a room talking about Dua Lipa? Do we need to talk about Dua Lipa here?
No. Me and Alden had one of my most fun times on the internet was a marathon stream I had with Alden on Backstage, but the whole like, oh no, hold it, we have like the kids. It was like you and Brennan were like, oh, we have the kids in the room right now. Let's wait until all the grown-ups are here, then we'll have this big adult conversation. That's
LQ says Steve needs some affirmation.
You're goddamn right, I do, LQ. Okay, I'm not afraid to admit it. We all need some affirmation in life.
Okay, I'll tell you all right now. This show would have ended if not for producer Steve. If Steve didn't decide to say, yeah, you know what, let me call into that asshole show and ask him about what I'll bring on a camping trip. And I would have lost energy on this show. I would have been in my cups, depressed that no one likes my shows. And Steve, you're the wind beneath my wings. Okay.
Oh, that's so sweet. I'm kidding, of course. I just thought that was very funny. That it was. All right. We'll bring Alden in for an informed conversation. That was funny. So.
You know what I mean.
I love that. I know what you meant. That's why I felt comfortable giving you shit for it.
Okay. So. Well, that's why you're here. Remember I told you early on? The reason you're valuable to the show is, one, you let me have a little bit of the spotlight because it's my name up there on the billboard. And two, you call me an asshole when I need to be called an asshole. That's why you're here.
Yeah.
All right.
Speak truth to power, folks.
All right. Cal's on the air. Cal, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, Ken? How you doing?
Good. Let me quickly read the super chat from Cam so I don't forget. Thank you for the super chat, Cam. Would it be great to hear on a future show? Don't want to make you late, but love to hear your thoughts on Lesnar's situation. leaning mega. I'll just say quickly, that was the line for me. Nothing else really moved me. World's complicated. There's a lot of great people in the WWE locker room who are actually very progressive. You can't help the company they work for, all that stuff. But bringing out someone who is still kind of in an active, lawsuit, sex trafficking, all the horrible things. Vinnie Mac and Lesnar should never touch foot in that fed again. And they did with Lesnar. So I'm at a spot with that on that. But more on that later. Love that, Cam. Cal. All right, buddy. Hit me.
What do you mean hit you?
Hit me. Anyway, I'm supposed to be in a green room in 10 minutes.
You got to be in the boom room in 10 minutes? All right, Ken. I do have a question for you. First of all, I want to ask you how you doing. How's everything going?
I'm good. I'm really nervous that I'm going to miss the start of the show, which I'll be fired.
You're not going to miss it. You're not going to miss it.
Steve, can we put a timer on? Can we put a timer up on the screen?
10 minute. Put a 10-minute timer.
Get the plane in the air. 10 minutes. Cal, you have like 60 seconds.
I live 8 minutes from the comedy club. I've already lost it. Okay.
8 minutes, so 2 minutes. So that gives me 2 minutes.
Cal, I love that you're from Kingsport, Tennessee. I don't need the Tennessee drawl right now. Ask your question.
All right, Ken. Here's the thing. Can you're making me do this too much. Can professionals still be nurses? Can you wear, talking about clothes, can you be a professional like you were with your security job? Can you show up in like a Darth Vader tie or something like that? Here's an example. If you're like a doctor and you go, listen, if you're like a doctor.
This is a great question, Cal. I love this question.
Wait a minute. If you're a doctor, you got to tell somebody that they have like 60 minutes, I think it's 60 seconds to silence. 66 months to live. Can you
Yes.
have a Darth Vader tie on? Can
Yes.
you be a lawyer?
No, you can't. You can't.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, just Cal, let me jump in here because I do see what you're saying. This actually is something that I lived out in my life. When I was the security director, suit and tie guy, this is from 07 to 2015. And every Halloween, everyone in the office, because I had the security office, but I was part of the mall management team as well. Everyone in the mall management team would dress up for Halloween. And they'd always tell me, why aren't you dressing up? You should dress up for Halloween. I was like, my job has no schedule, has no routine. So if I'm dressed up as you say, Darth Vader, and suddenly there's a mass shooting, I'm now dealing with it dressed as Darth Vader. Like I cannot have the mirth and merry of Halloween in my job. So I 100%, Cal, know what you're saying. I find it hilarious that you asked it because I agree with it.
Missed opportunity.
Well, yeah, like Ozvetnik says, you can get away with fun socks, but that's not what I mean. I mean like a pen, like a rebel pen, something subtle even.
Yeah,
can you have that as on your blazer? Can you have something subtle like that?
I think you can. I think a Game of Thrones tie or something. I don't think that's the problem. I'm not that much of a buzzkill or a joy kill. I'm just saying in a costume, Halloween is the example. Every year this would happen. Are you going to dress up, Ken? No, because I've had to deal. I'm the first person on scene for a heart attack. I've been there for strokes. I've been there for seizures. I'm not going to be dressed as Darth Maul going, just breathe, hold on, give me your hand. Like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
You know that happens, though. You know that's got to happen in the United States somewhere.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. We all, and it was great for Patch Adams, but it's not great for me. Cal.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
You've run out of time. The timer ran out, but that was a great call because
everybody else gets all the time in the world. You always save me for last to make me rush through everything.
Yeah.
You got to eat. You got to show.
Yeah.
You got something to do.
Yeah. This is great. You're learning. You're learning. You're learning. It's how we contain you.
I've known this for a long time.
It's how we contain you. It's how we contain you. All right?
You can't contain me. You can't contain me.
I can't contain you.
I love you. I'll see.
Get out of here, Cal. Get out of here, Cal. That was a great call. I love that. I can talk about that for a while. He's absolutely right. All right, Steve, we did it. I think I'm going to get there on time. We'll be back Saturday for an hour. I don't know if Steve will, because sometimes he lives life on the weekends. Alden doesn't live life on the weekends, but Steve does. All right, everybody. Go listen to some new Haley Williams music. It's great stuff. We'll see you all. Bye.